Okie dokie, I didn't think we'd be making another video on foldable devices, but here we are back again, and I don't know how many more videos I'm gonna have to make on foldables. And as you've already seen by the title of this video, this is not about Samsung, but its actual arch nemesis, Honor. So Honor has really been trying to up their game, and I think ever since they parted ways with Huawei, they've actually managed to make really good phones that are also very pocket friendly. And they recently came out with the Magic VS, which was Honor's answer to Samsung's foldable lineup. Honor just announced the Magic VS2, and I have to say that it's actually a game changer. And there was recently a lot of hype about the Galaxy Z Fold 5, and I actually did a video last night about it, talking about what we can expect and how Samsung is making small but significant changes in some areas. And now that I've seen the Magic VS2, it makes the Galaxy Z Fold 5 seem outdated. So Honor made very significant changes to the Magic VS2 this time, with a lot of the changes being focused on the design of it. The most notable factor about the Magic VS2 and the biggest change that we've seen is the weight and the thickness of it. So the Honor Magic VS2 is just 9.9 millimeters thick, which is just slightly thicker than the current iPhone, so just a little bit thicker, and that's in the folded state. Just for a reference, after the Galaxy Z Fold 5 comes out with the updated hinge where there's no longer a gap, it's gonna measure at 13 millimeters. So that's a huge difference. 9.9 millimeters as compared to 13 millimeters is a lot. The current iPhone is at, I think, 7.8 millimeters thick. That's the iPhone 14 Pro. So this is just a little bit over 2 millimeters thicker. And not only there, but there are also changes in the weight of it. So this officially makes the Honor VS2 the lightest foldable phone to ever come out, weighing at just 231 grams, and that's actually lighter than the current Galaxy S23 Ultra, which is at 234 grams if I'm not wrong. The current Galaxy Z Fold 4 weighs 263 grams, so this makes it the lightest and the thinnest foldable phone ever made. This is kind of like crispy thin, I would say. Honor has also made very significant changes to the hinge this time, so they're actually using titanium for the hinge, and Honor refers to this as a Luban titanium hinge, which is some sort of gold certified Swiss hinge that is supposed to be very durable, and it's actually rated for 400,000 folds for up to 10 years without any issues. The only thing that I'm not sure about, which wasn't mentioned, is whether this is actually now going to have any sort of dust-proof capabilities or waterproofing capabilities. So that's a big question mark, and I know that that's a big deal for a lot of people because the Magic VS had no waterproofing abilities, and the Galaxy Z Fold 4 did have. When it comes to the displays for both the outside and the inside displays, we are going to get OLED displays just as last year. These are going to be LTPO this time, and they're going to have 120 Hertz of refresh rate. Now the outer display last year also had 120 Hertz of refresh rate, but it had a brightness of around 1200 nits. This time we have 2600 nits of peak brightness, which is double of what we had last year. The inner display is actually now going to come with 120 Hertz display as well, as opposed to the 90 Hertz display that we had last year. So that is also a change that's coming to the display. And talking about internal changes, we now for the first time have a bigger battery thanks to a new technology that Honor has managed with, they're calling, I think, a 3-in-1 panel display something. So they've managed to free up some space on the inside of the Magic VS2, and for the first time on a foldable device we have now 5000 milliamperes of battery, which is a big deal because foldable phones are known for consuming a lot of battery, and this is also paired with Honor's fast charge, which comes with the 66 watts. Talking about the performance, the Honor Magic VS2 is not skimping at all here too, so we are going to get Snapdragon's 8 Gen 2 chip, but this is not just any chip. This is actually the overclock chip, which comes at 3.36 gigahertz instead of the regular 3.18 gigahertz, and this is actually the same chipset that we saw on the Red Magic 8 Pro, so this is the highest level that you can go to. This is also going to be further paired with 16 gigs of RAM, and then you're going to have options of 256 gigs of internal storage and also 512 gigs of internal storage. On the camera side of things, we are seeing a similar setup as last year, so we are seeing a 16 megapixel camera on both of the displays, on the foldable display for the selfie and also on the outer display. So there's not much changes there, and on the back we're also seeing a triple camera array this time, so we're going to see a 50 megapixel main camera camera, a 50 megapixel ultra wide, but this time we are now getting a 20 megapixel telephoto lens, which is going to be capable of 40 times zoom. And last but not least, if we now come to the pricing, this is very reasonably priced, I would say. It's not really very different from the other foldables that are out there in the market, which usually start at $1,300, $1,400, go up to $1,800. This is similar to that. So it starts at $1,300, which is around 4,700 dirhams if you buy the base version, and that's the 16 gig version with 256 gigs of internal storage. If you go for the 512 gig of internal storage, that's going to cost you around $1,450, which I believe is 5,200 to 5,300 dirhams. And it doesn't just stop there. You can actually buy the ultimate edition of the Magic VS2, which gives you 1 terabyte of internal storage. It's going to still be paired with 16 gigs of RAM, and this will cost you around $1,700, which takes it up to around 6,300 dirhams. So yeah, guys, very excited to see the VS in hand. The only limitation that we have right now is that this phone is limited to China and it's not really internationally available. But just like the Magic VS, which then became available for everyone else, it's just a matter of time before we actually see this in our hands as well. And I have to say, I'm not as excited now for the Galaxy Z Fold 5, because after looking at the specs and seeing what Honor has come out with, it already makes the Galaxy Z Fold 5 look outdated. But let's see what we have in store. We still don't know exactly what we're gonna get when it comes to the Galaxy Z Fold 5. There's everything that I've mentioned in my videos, it's leaks and rumors, but you never know until the actual phone is out. Let me know what you guys think of the Magic VS, and if you had the option to buy the Magic VS, would you actually go for it? I personally would love to buy the Magic VS2, and I think it's one of the best foldables out there. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.